Apologies before we begin if my voice sounds gnarly and ghastly. I'm once again sick and fighting off something. But back to the point of the video. There's a game called Expedition 33. Clair Obscur is the title actually. And it looks interesting. I hope it's good. I just have one slight concern with it. And that's the characters don't particularly look attractive. Nothing to that face. The female face looks fine, so it's not woke. It doesn't give woke. The male character, he gives this kind of similar aesthetics as the lead for that Thaumaturge game. It's not a particularly appealing look. It's not ugly. It's quote unquote realistic, I suppose. But it's more the body proportions and the style of dress as well. But it just looks kind of mid, and the females are, of course, flat chested and everything. People have, from what I've seen, compared it to FF10 a lot. And if you look at FF10, Yuna is called up, yes, but you have Lulu and Riku, who are more on the attractive side. And then, of course, you have the badass, who is Auron. Right? So, I don't really get that from this game. It doesn't look like it has that type of levity that I personally appreciate. Now, the story, from what I gather, seems to be a very grim, dark story. Alright, so quick editor's note here. While editing the video, I noticed that on the expedition page, it says, if you have a specific request, be sure to reach out to us on X or Blue Sky. Now, from what I understand, Blue Sky is like X, or it's a safe space for leftist types. Could be nothing, but seeing now that they want the cosplay on Blue Sky, that makes sense as to why the designs are so muted and not spicy at all. It doesn't necessarily mean the game is woke or anything like that. It's just sad that quote-unquote progressive sensibilities would have, in my opinion, reduced the attractiveness of the characters. But let's go back to the video. And contrary to games like FF10 and FF7, Xenosaga, those older RPGs, they could tell a dark story of death and destruction while still having an air of levity. This game doesn't appear to be doing that or want to do that. It's more of a straight focused doom and gloom thing. And I think as a result, it might actually be more similar in experience to this flower anime. I forgot what it's called. It's like a bunch of criminals get dropped off to this mysterious island to find a magical elixir, and there's some flower deity thing. It was a decent anime until one part in it decided to show two plants in the form of men having anal sex, and I'm like, nope, I am done with this bullshit. But I digress. So even though I do hope it's good, and I'm not entirely sure, like I said, it's just a little oddity. It could very well just be the art style that they decide to go with. I personally would just prefer if they took more effort to make the characters look attractive. Right now the characters look fine. The environments look attractive. A bit heavy on the blur though. So I don't think I should expect any type of grand RPG like FF10 or FF7 from this game. Might be a more focused thing. And that's fine. Like I do hope it's good. However, even if it's good, I might not be able to play it because this thing requires an RX 6800 XT to run the game at 1080p. I play at 1440p. This is madness. Unlike the majority of games with high requirements, this one at least looks good. It looks like you can see the game and say, okay, I see why you need that amount of power. But what I find a bit odd is this game still a PS5 generation game. It's not a PS6 generation game. The 6000 series came out, at least the 6800 came out around the same time, same year as the PS5. I don't understand why we have this massive jump in power in requirements. Now, it is entirely possible, as I've said it and others have said it no doubt, that we've been shortchanged by the GPU manufacturers for quite some time now. Personally, I think it's when you start to proliferate the 90 series from NVIDIA. And you have some people who say, okay, the 90 is fine as being overpriced because it's a Halo product, as long as the rest of the stack is reasonably priced. And I want to know what type of mental gymnastics these persons are doing to think that a company will sell their price gouge and make the highest tier card unattractive and then make everything else reasonable. That don't make no blasted sense. What I have is a 6700 XT. So I can play based on these requirements. I can play this game at 1080p max setting, let alone 4040p. And I don't know if this requirement still involves fake resolution and fake frames and all kind of fake rates. I don't know. I have no idea about the performance of it. I haven't been, for the longest while, I haven't really been looking at following previews and reviews and stuff of games because I've found that many websites don't know, many so-called journalists don't know how to describe a game without flat out spoiling it. And that is bloody frustrating. Let me know if you're interested in the game, if you have any concerns, if you share my, not even concern, but just observation that the characters they don't particularly look, giving. And also due to the very serious structure of the game, it doesn't allow for a lot of brevity. So it might be a very short experience, not one that you can really immerse yourself in for that long. That's a possibility. That's not necessarily a bad thing once you go in it with that mindset. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this game. And also if you think the requirements are reasonable. I guess that has two parts, reasonable one, and then two, if it's unreasonable, it's because of poor programming and or because we've been shortchanged, so we've been using underpowered GPUs all along.